as we get ready for UFC 282.
Yeah. Do you ever forget the numbers? People say to me, which UFC event? And I go, it's like 253 or something. And then they go, no, 287. No, it's not. It's 280.
The only one I remember is UFC 11.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, that's the first one I attended.
Oh.
I covered the UFC from UFC 1. Sitting down with Billy Q. Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. What's up, guys?
How you, pal?
Good to see you. You know, I don't see you in a year, and now I see you twice in 4 days.
I know. I saw you the other day in Orlando. It was great seeing you, and I've obviously talked to you many times in Tampa. So thanks for having me out here. Good to see you guys out here in Vegas.
Good to see you as well. Looking forward to Saturday. I wanted to ask, you know, and I don't want this to sound corny. You know, you've been in many fights. You know, you've gone the whole realm. What was it like sitting there Saturday at a sold out with the crowd and the emotion? It was electric, knowing you're fighting in a week. You know, it's one thing to know it, but to be in there and witness all that again.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Every UFC fight we go to, I feel like I'm still a fan. Just being there, being a part of UFC Orlando and watching it, you kind of get the chills a little bit watching people walk out. It's almost like you're doing it, you're visualizing it, and it's very motivating to, especially back-to-back weeks. I'm super happy that I went.
What's fight week like for you?
Fight week, it's a lot of thinking about food, thinking of all the food I'm going to eat on Friday. It's a lot of drinking water. It's a little bit of this media stuff, which is always good. And then it's kind of just getting my mind and my body right, a lot of mental focus. We're all going to go to hot yoga later today. I can't wait to see. There's a couple of guys on my team that have never done it before.
It's awesome. It's
awesome. We always do it fight week. So I can't wait to see them go do that out there. So it's going to be a good time. Speaking
of food, I don't really like to do it with fighters unless they bring it up. When's the pizza party in St. Pete? When are you guys all going to be back?
Yeah, whenever you guys want us. I love the pizza out there. It's a quick drive for us. It's about 30 minutes over the bridge. My dad's going to be in town next week. Remember, we had him out there making pizzas. So, yeah, anytime you guys want.
I guess it's next week when you...
All right, bring Bobby Q back out there. He loved it last time.
we will do it all. During fight week, and I always ask all of you fighters this, do you try not to think about you have a fist fight in 4 days? Or do you try to, Saturday, it's my work, I need to do this, I need to prepare mentally, or is a break good, not thinking about it?
Yeah, I think it's a good mix. I think like when I'm doing this kind of stuff, of course we're gonna talk about it, I'm thinking about it.
Not on this show.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can talk about whatever you want here. But yeah, talking about it. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of moments where I don't really want to think about it. Where we're just, especially where my whole family's gonna be in town, I'm gonna spend time with them. I don't even want to really talk about it. But then, of course, when we're hitting mitts, we're kind of talking about strategy. It's hard not to, and to kind of break it down is pretty important, obviously.
All right, so even a bigger question, and we talk very little about what we're supposed to, and we goof off and have a good time. How many tables, and have you gone through the table yet?
Okay, so I've gone through one table. It was 2017, I believe. I had a torn ACL and I was about to get surgery on it. So I figured, I'm like, it can't get any worse, right? So we're in Jacksonville. It was when the Bills ended their playoff drought of like 15 years, maybe even more, maybe it was 17 years of they didn't go to the playoffs for that long. So we drove over to Jacksonville from Tampa, and I'm like, I gotta put someone through a table. So we're in the parking lot. We found like the Bills parking lot, like part of it, like all the away fans. And it was all Bills fans, and then there was one guy with a Jaguars hat, and I'm like, it's got to be him. So we had our own table, and I was like, hey, man, can I put you through this table? And he's like, no. And all the Bills fans were always like, let him do it. Come on, man. Like, don't be a pussy. And sure enough, he let me. I, rock bottomed him through the table, and I ended up, kind of hitting my own head. And I had a headache for, the next, hour, but it was worth it. It's a cool video. You can find it out there somewhere.
Is it your year this year?
I hope so, man. I don't want to jinx us, but... I think so, man. I think we're the team to beat. We've had some games where we didn't look like the best team in the league, but the big games, like against Kansas City, we beat them. We beat some really big. I feel like when we have to show up, we showed up. But you know how the NFL is. It's all going to come down to who's playing the best during the playoff time. Hopefully, we get home field, which home field in Buffalo is kind of tough because it's going to be cold and we're a throwing offense.
It'll be played in Detroit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. Unfortunately, so. I'm hoping for the best. I don't want to jinx us, but we had high expectations, and I'm definitely going home either for a home playoff game or if they do knock on wood, make it to the Super Bowl, I'm going to try to make it out there for that too.
Did you watch that thing on Monday night?
What's that?
The Bucks game?
No, I
Oh.
didn't. I was in bed, but yeah, I heard that. I saw they had a crazy comeback. I saw Brady get a touchdown at the end.
The first 3 quarters and 12 minutes of the fourth, they were awful.
Yeah.
And then they scored 412 points in 3 minutes.
Wow. That's got to be a record, right?
Yeah, you would think. You definitely would. Give me your thoughts on your opponent.
Thoughts on my opponent. I've watched him. He's been in the UFC for a long time. He was a 155er for a while, so I thought my teammate Matt Fervola was going to end up fighting him eventually. I thought they were.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, you might have seen him around. I thought they were going to get matched up at one point, so that's the only reason I've even we watched him and thought maybe he would fight him. I remember him from the Cowboy Cerrone situation where he was talking all this crap about Cowboy, and then Cowboy ended up beating him up pretty good. So I remember him from that, but I'm not overlooking him. He's a super tough opponent. He's been in the UFC for years. He's fought nothing but killers. And when they offered me the fight, I knew he was going to accept it because he's fought nothing but killers. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see him go from lightweight to featherweight and see what how that ends up. But I'm expecting the best version of Alexander Hernandez. And I'm expecting him to be super dangerous.
Yeah. So listen, Saturday, with it being Vegas, and also having I know of several large groups of guys that will come over from Britain to come and watch Paddy, and watch Darren Till. So when you watch a fight or when you're part of a fight in Britain, the atmosphere is kind of different to what it is in the US.
Yeah.
It's a lot more kind of raucous. You going into the arenas and having to focus on your fight, do you take a moment to really kind of go, this is awesome? Look at the size of the crowd, look at the energy, look at the noise and the singing, the dancing, and all this kind of stuff? Or do you go, no, I can't listen to any of that. I can't embrace that I'm here. I just have to focus on what I'm doing? Because some people are very different, I'm kind of curious to find out how you'd approach that.
I think my UFC debut, it was kind of like that mindset, like, oh, just dial in, just focus, don't worry about the crowd or anything. I think now having the experience of already fighting, Madison Square Garden last year, fighting in DC, fighting, 6 UFC fights already, I think now I can let myself kind of embrace it a little bit more because I feel comfortable there now.
Yeah, of course.
If that makes sense. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I love the wild English fans. That's a wild atmosphere.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the Irish when Conor was making his rounds. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope they get there early. I hope they're getting rowdy. I'm gonna embrace all that. Go out there, get a big finish, and get the crowd going.
What can the fans expect to see when you get back in on Saturday?
They can expect to see what I've been bringing. Nothing but excitement, nonstop action. They know the second the bell rings, I'm out there I got one job, and that's to take them out. That's to take them out before a decision is read. So yeah, they're gonna expect excitement, expect high volume, a lot of pressure, and expect some violence. It's gonna be a violent fight.
I would say thank you. Well, I am saying thank you for coming on the show. And then I would say that we'll mail you a package from 8 Man Strong, but I'm going to hand deliver it to you when we do this pizza thing.
I can't wait to get another pizza from you.
Pizza next week. Also, we'll send you a care package from Blue Smoke Salsa, the best salsa you've ever had. Trust me.
Can't wait to try
It's good stuff. Billy,
all
as
right,
always, man.
Thanks for having me.
you very
Great
much.
meeting you guys.
All right, let's go hit a quick break. When we come back, more action from the UFC Apex. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man
Nice
Strong.
meeting you, brother.
Yeah, so.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of your media day.
Yeah.
If you want it, well, I'll text you. You get your address for the salsa.